Bratz Boo Boo, hey cuties, Peachy here. Welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're going to be doing a full-on breakdown on the brand new Bratz Babies, Bratzies, Bratz LABUBU style bag charms here from the early Bratz.com release, going really badly, selling out, exclusive online mystery rare variants. We have early findings in store and where they will be sold, pricing, and more information. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's get into it. Now, for those who don't know, rewind to early 2025, where a user at Doll August on Instagram started to share his very unique, one-of-a-kind work turning Bratz babies into LABUBU style bag charms. Shortly overnight, these reels gained millions and millions of views all together, and it was no secret that these one-of-a-kind Bratz babies LABUBU style bag charms really got people obsessed with them. They were just so hot, and a lot of people were wishing that Bratz would actually perhaps even make these into a real mass-produced thing. And well, cut to this week where Bratz announced the official new Bratz Babies line called Bratzies, where it's basically their plush little bag charms in the style of Bratz Babies, dressed up as their little icon, pets. So, Chloe is dressed up as her pig icon, Jade Cool Cat, Sasha Bunny Boo, and Yasmin obviously in her Pretty Princess frog icon costume. So this is very exciting because at Doll August was actually able to work directly with the Bratz team to give us all this new mass-produced Bratz Babies, Bratzies, LABUBU style line. Now officially they are called Bratzies. They're not called Bratz Boo Boo, or they're not in any way, they're not affiliated with LABUBU or Pop Mart in any way, I don't think. So that's why the early trademark that we saw also way back when this year of Bratz Boo, I'm pretty sure that MGA kind of figured out that they were not able to use that trademark because it was perhaps a bit too similar to LABUBU. So now we have the official name, which is Bratzies. I definitely feel like Bratz Boo Boo is just catchier, but Bratzies also is kind of cute, and it definitely fits the vibe of this new plush bag charm accessory. So I'm just really excited to see Doll August work with Bratz, going from creating his one-of-a-kind bag charms and now working with the team directly to bring us all, again, this mass-produced line. It's just so exciting, and I can only imagine how excited he is that he was able to contribute to this line that I feel like a lot of people will really love, and it might be very popular. More popular than LABUBU? I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. But shortly after, the official Bratz Instagram account shared a post announcing that these Bratzies would become available first on the Bratz.com website, where also there's a catch. There's two mystery variants, two rare chasers, basically, in this first Icons series that are exclusive to Bratz.com online, and those are the twins, Roxy and Phoebe. So unfortunately, while they are available in Target, we'll get into those early findings later on, but yes, basically Bratz Babies, these will be available in Target stores, probably also Amazon and other stores down the line. But unlike the main four, the twins are not going to be available in store, just only available online on Bratz.com, which that definitely sucks. And as you might have guessed, the early launch on Bratz.com for these Bratzies sold out in less than 5 minutes. People were really upset because, first of all, the pricing, $25. I mean, that's expensive. That's expensive for not just a Bratz baby, but also a Bratz Babies style bag charm that you don't even know who you are getting of. It's a lot to ask for, but I guess people got them because, again, they sold out. And then shortly after, they came back in stock. And I feel like now, the last I checked, they are available on Bratz.com, which is, again, the only way you might have a chance to get any of the two twins, Roxy and Phoebe variants. Now, luckily, like I mentioned, these Bratzies have already been spotted early in Target stores all across US. So that is very good news for those of you who are not able to get them online, or perhaps because with vouchers and like a Target membership, you might be able to get them cheaper in that store chain. So that is very good. Obviously, again, I don't think these are exclusive to Target. I'm pretty sure these will be available also on Amazon and like Walmart and like all the stores. These are going to be mass produced. These are not exclusive. These are not like limited availability. Nothing, no BS. These should be available everywhere. And while they are a little bit expensive at $25 at least, with them being more accessible, that does open up more opportunities for them to go on sale, or for, again, coupons and vouchers and whatever, for people to get them cheaper. Because I do think, we'll get into like if they're worth it at the end, but like I do think it's 25 is a high price for basically a little plushie that you're not sure who you're getting. And it's like a little Bratz baby. I mean, it's just a lot. You could spend that amount of money for basically like a Monster High G3 core doll, right? Like maybe the price is a little bit increased now because of inflation and stuff, but like Monster High G3 core dolls used to be 25. Bratz used to be 25. A lot of playline dolls, fashion dolls like Barbie Bratz, Monster High, etc. cost 25. You could buy a full-on fashion doll with that amount of money, and instead of getting a plushy bag charm. But I also feel like LABUBUs cost 25, don't they? The LABUBUs are expensive. LABUBUs cost 25, right? So I'm pretty sure MJ really is taking a note out of Pop Mart and LABUBU's like marketing and pricing, because if LABUBUs cost 25, then it's no surprise that of course these Bratzies would also cost 25. They're really trying to directly put them as competitors, to LABUBU. Like MJ really wants to give LABUBU some competition here with these new Bratzies. It's no surprise. They're not even hiding it because it's just so obvious. It's so clear that that's what they're trying to do here. Now let's get into my thoughts basically of these Bratzies. They're cute. When I first saw murmurs of this happening, when we saw that Trademark leak, when we saw the first packaging leak that came out like a week ago, basically, all of this, when it started to happen, I was not surprised, because obviously at Doll August originated the idea of turning a Bratz baby into a bag charm LABUBU style, So seeing his creations, I definitely thought like, oh, Bratz, MGA, they're gonna see dollar signs in their eyes. They're gonna want to get dibs on this, and so I'm not surprised that they also were so quick to like make a deal with at Doll August, to get them on board, to basically finalize a whole line here in a couple months, it feels like, because I'm pretty sure that again at Doll August started to post his oaks like early this year. It wasn't that long ago, it all happened in a span of a year basically, and now they're out. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm also so happy for at Doll August. I feel so bad. I don't know what his name is, but I guess just August. But either way, just amazing talent. You can really see it on his profile, and just that he was able to work with Bratz and contribute. And again, I'm assuming that they're also giving him a cut of what is getting sold and whatever. So I'm assuming he's getting his dues, like I'm hoping he's getting paid for his work and for his idea, because he conceptualized the idea of Bratz babies, turning them into LABUBU back charms, like he's the one who came up with that. And so I think he deserves credit, and he deserves the bag to get the bag, So that's a great thing about this whole thing, and hopefully they keep working together, because he is really talented, as many of you already know. I just think, and again, it's not even his, like he had nothing to do with the pricing. I'm pretty sure he had nothing to do with that. Like I'm sure he's just on board like to design the characters and like the colors, and like I'm sure he's not in charge of the pricing or anything like that. So it's not his fault, obviously not. To me, the pricing $25 for a bag charm is just too much. Even if it wasn't a blind box, it would be too much. But on top of it being a blind box, costing them, to me, that's too much, Like, at least if they were 25, but you knew who you were getting, I feel like that way, okay, that would have also made them a bit more better than LABUBU, because that way you actually know who you're getting. Would it erase that whole, buying more because you don't know who you're getting? Yes. And obviously MJ knows that, and that's why they stuck to it being a blind box experience, because they want to make more money. But I do feel like if they had just gone with turning these Bratzies, this line, into dolls where you actually know who you're getting, that would have definitely, to me, I think it would have really benefited this whole release, because a lot of people would then be more inclined to spend the money to get their favorite. I feel like that way a lot more people would get them. But because they're blind boxes and because they're so expensive, and on top of that, the two very popular, twins, Phoebe and Roxy, those two are online exclusive. So a lot of these factors, I feel like are just, rubbing people the wrong way. They could have done this in a better way. They could have executed this in a better way, but this is what we have. And I think overall they look like great quality. They do look really soft and plush. Does the eye printing look a little wonky on some of these? Yes. But they have articulation, like they can move at the shoulders, they can sit down, like they have posability. They're really cute little bag charms for sure. It's just they're too expensive. I think that's the big thing here. They're too expensive. But yes, I think my favorite would have to be I don't know, Chloe. Chloe's really cute. I love, Yasmin's little crown. I think they're all really cute. I can definitely see these doing well, for sure, with kids, with adult collectors as well, because they really are so cutesy and chibi, and plus being a back charm, I guess it adds more kind of like versatility to them. You can actually use them as a little charm, and so I think that's good. They also include cards and stickers with, super adorable. So I definitely feel like these will do well, and I wouldn't mind seeing more characters like Fiona, Megan, more characters get included here with these kind of style of back charms, because there's potential here. I'm just hoping that in future series that they will become you will know who you're getting, because I do think that would make it so much better. The reaction of the public to these, from what I've seen, is that most people like them and they would want to get like one or maybe their favorites if they could pick. But most seem a bit apprehensive, I've seen from reactions from the polls that I've had in my Instagram stories. So it's kind of like divided. I think most like some, and they would like to get some specifically, and then some others don't like them, or maybe they would just like to get them on sale. So I do think for majority of people, they would like these more if they were cheaper and if you knew who you were getting. So my points here definitely, I feel like, are just not, I'm not the only one who has these issues. I think a lot of people would like these more if they were cheaper and if you knew who you were getting. Anyway, now I want to know what you think of these Bratzies, BRATZ LABUBU style back charms. Who is your favorite, and what do you think of them? What do you think they will do well, or do you think this LABUBU fad is dying out? Let me know down below, and I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and please consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're interested. Of course, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the doll tea you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope to see you next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.